Welcome to another of our Road to 2025 Music PEI Week. We have another of our award nominees here today, Brad Milligan. Welcome, Brad.
Thanks for having me.
Just briefly, and I was going to do this before we hit record, but we got right into it. So I did meet you once there just a couple years ago
Yes.
um, at the Carlton. You were doing a
Yes,
show there.
exactly. I was going to say. Yeah.
So I know that back then, your EP was like a brand new thing.
Yeah, it just come out. Yeah, I think a month
Yeah.
before or something. Yeah.
So you've had a lot of success with that, and obviously with the Entertainer of the Year nomination, which quick congratulations on
Hey,
that.
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
But obviously, the people that are getting the Entertainer of the Year are out there hustling a little bit more than just the recordings.
Yes. Yeah,
So
definitely.
I know that you have an energetic performance and you have a stacked band of talent there to support you as well.
Hmm.
I would like to go back though.
Okay.
You've been around like on the East Coast music scene for a few years now, but in a couple different variations.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know that, and I kind of agree with the decision because I follow a lot of bands over the years, and it's easier to compartmentalize some stuff that you notice that with changing responsibilities and sounds and stuff, you wanted to change band name.
Yes.
So when you started off originally, like way back
Way there.
when you started music,
Yeah.
were you going down the singer-songwriter path? Is that like were you traditional picked up a guitar and started writing songs type deal?
You know what? Originally, I would say that's what I wanted to do, but I kind of fell into more of playing in a lot of like hardcore. I would say more like hard rock metal bands. That was like
Yeah.
originally what I did. Um, I think deep down, I always wanted to be more of like a singer-songwriter guy. But that's just kind of where I found myself. Um, and that was like, I think my first band, I would say would be 11th Hour, Never Hour. That was like my first band. And then that was more of like, yeah, like a hard rock thing.
Hmm.
Um, and then when that sort of kind of fell apart, that's when I started sitting down and going, okay, I want to write the music that I want to write. And kind of it sort of led me into where I am today. But before that, I also was in a band. Before I went solo, I was in a band called Arsenal Mills,
Hmm.
which I would say was more like of the retro rock thing, which was really fun. I really enjoyed that band, but still, I wanted to get into more of what I wanted to do, which is like you said, the more singer-songwriter based thing. So
Yeah, and it was interesting because I do see a lot of bands that I've followed over the years, not just on the East Coast, just in general,
yeah,
where, for lack of another term, that like the frontman will break off and do something a little bit more solo.
yeah,
The reason I kind of hesitate on saying solo is that you do have a very well established band there with you too. Like I know a few of those players.
for sure. Yeah.
So I'm curious that the transition from Arsenal Mills into being Brad Milligan solo,
Mhm.
uh, besides just the sound, was there anything else that kind of broke you off to try this as a new project?
Yeah, I don't know. I would just say bands are hard in
Hmm.
general. It's
Hmm.
hard when there's so many personalities involved and there's, more than one person that wants to take the lead.
Yeah.
Makes it kind of difficult. Um, and I just wanted to be in a space where I could have the lead and
Hmm.
just kind of take it in the direction that I wanted to go because I had a lot of, uh, uh, you know, I had a lot of, I guess I would say, ideas and
Yeah.
creative outlets that I wanted to sort of take care of. And that's why I went solo. I just wanted to, kind of feel like it was my thing and I could just have people who wanted to, come in and play the music that I wanted to play. And it kind of just got to a point too where it was sort of becoming a bit toxic. I guess
Yeah,
being in the last band I was in, Arsenal Mills, it just got to a point where I wasn't having fun anymore. And I think at
sure.
the end of the day, if I'm not having fun, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
that does happen in a lot of cases too. And I'm
yeah,
curious, it does seem to parallel some well-known artists that are out there that maybe I'm curious. I'll let you tell me what your influences were. But
okay,
when you talked about the heavier stuff that you were playing too,
yeah,
it seemed to lean itself to other artists that would at some point in their career also make a transition in the sound. Like I have a few names I want to throw out there, but I want
okay,
you to
please.
tell me what kind of influences did you have for
Oh
your music?
man, that's such a loaded question. I am influenced by so much. Like I would say, like singing wise, like really, I would say early '60s, like '60s stuff. So like I mean, soul singers like Marvin Gaye, Otis
Hmm.
Redding, Sam Cooke, people like that really, really influenced me. To the Beatles, especially
Hmm.
like Paul McCartney is a major influence on me, stuff like that. Uh, Kiss, uh, Aerosmith, I mean, Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, all those
Yeah.
people, to the Cars, to like, I don't know, early '90s alternative. So like Smashing Pumpkins, Alice in Chains. I mean, to someone more modern like Chris Stapleton,
Yeah.
my influences are all over the place, really. So
Yeah. I could see some of the modern stuff there too, but especially like where you said like Bruce Springsteen, I was thinking of
yeah,
like of the era, like the transition of like Bon Jovi to John Bon Jovi and that
yeah,
type
sure,
deal.
okay, yeah,
Maybe not exactly the sound, but just kind of stylistically a transition there too.
for sure, yeah, I could see that, yeah.
So now that album is a little bit older now, it's
Mhm.
getting a little bit of wear on it, and you've had success from it. I'm
Yes,
curious what you're looking at for follow up. Do you have plans for 2025 going into 26?
yeah, I have a new EP written right now, or basically done. So the plan is to get into the studio and start recording my next couple singles. Hopefully in March. That's the plan, is to get in the studio, start recording. But yeah, everything's written. A lot of great new material that I'm excited about. I'm feeling, especially this year, the last couple of years, like you said, I haven't released anything, and I've just been really working on playing as much as I
Hmm.
can, being out there performing, and you know that kind of stuff. So this year, I'm really focused on, you know, getting these new songs out. I want to release as much new music as I can. I'm just feeling ready right now, and I wanted to wait until I was ready, until I had the music that I felt was, you
Sure.
know, good enough. If you're going to release something as a follow-up, it better be better than what you did before.
Yeah,
So
and that can be challenging, I know.
that can be challenging, especially for me as someone who's like a perfectionist, and you know, I'm really hard on myself when it comes to that, to songwriting. I'm like, I just need to do better. I need to do better. So I'm always, trying to push myself. But yeah, I'm feeling good about this new music. I'm really excited for people to hear it. So yeah, that's the plan. Get in March and start recording. So
And recently, kind of a little sidetrack in the story there too, but I found it interesting that another nominee's name came up, Craig Fair.
oh yes,
So you were involved in one of the Craig Fair productions recently?
yeah, we just finished Meatloaf, Anything for Love, music of Meatloaf. And we also just finished up Country Roads as well. So yeah, I'm in quite a few different Craig Fair productions, and I mean Craig's a very close friend of mine and one of the most talented people I've ever met. So
It's somebody I have yet to meet, but it's a
right,
name that I've been hearing very frequently.
yeah,
So it's funny when I'm talking to different people about the live music scene.
yep,
It seems to be like every band wants the audience to follow them, and every venue wants people just to come because the venue has music. It doesn't matter who's there.
sure,
But
yeah,
Craig's name is one now of the way that he has established himself as Craig Fair Productions. That the
mm.
name keeps coming up, so people are like, "I'm going to the Craig Fair show," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Which
yeah,
Like I know the concept, like it's a tribute or something that's going to be happening, but I don't know which one they're talking about necessarily unless I'm following along online. So
Sure. Yeah.
it's obviously quality work that you're putting into it because
Yeah.
it's getting word of mouth recognition.
Man, they are, obviously I'm a little biased because I'm involved in a lot of them, but they're world-class productions. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where people see Craig Fair Productions and they're like, okay, this is worth the money.
Yeah.
And that's such a great place to be in for him and for us. And, um, you know, it's so great because everyone involved takes it so seriously and we have so much love that we put into it. And it's been going so well, and I'm so happy for Craig. And it takes a lot of balls to do that,
Oh
to
yeah.
be willing to put all these productions together, and at the start not know if you're going to make any money,
Hmm.
and so kudos to him because it takes a lot of effort. So
Absolutely. And
yeah,
now I'm gonna have to ask specifically about live shows.
okay.
When I hear Entertainer of the Year, I immediately in my head am envisioning the person performing live.
Mhm.
So I'm curious, going ahead, aside from anything with the Craig Fair Productions as well, for Brad Milligan, what do you have in store for people for 2025 for live performances? Or is it too early in the year for you to announce some of them? I don't know.
Some of them are a little too early to announce, but I'm just focused on right now. I mean, my calendar's pretty full up until I think December of 2025 or January 2026. So I have a lot of dates coming up, but yeah, I'm really just focused right now on getting into the studio. That's kind of where my mind's at, is just getting this new music out, and then I have plans to do some maritime dates in June, early July.
Okay,
That's the plan right now. I'm going to be in Miramichi I have a little side project with another artist from PEI, Brooke MacArthur.
hmm,
We do Brooke and Brad and a little duo thing, and we're going to be in Miramichi in April.
cool.
Um, but yeah, other than that, like I said, I'm just focused on getting some new music out, and then I'll be out playing. You're gonna see me. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Um,
So getting into the studio and finishing off your follow-up,
yeah, yeah,
I've already mentioned a couple times that I'm aware of a couple of your players there. So is it the same band that you've been forming with that's in the studio with you?
Studio sometimes
Hmm.
different members involved. The live band is usually pretty much the same, um, just depending. Nick Goche on guitar. Sometimes it's Logan Richard. Sometimes it's Isaac King. A few different members there. But as far as like the live band is usually like the same crew every show, which is great. So
And I have been asking everybody this. I don't know if you had a chance to catch any of the other episodes yet, but as far as me traveling to PEI, I do have a couple trips planned this year,
okay,
and I will be there for Music Week, which is coming up very soon. So I'm excited
yeah,
to take in all the events on site, but I will be spending a lot of time in the province this year. And
okay,
I've been asking everybody outside of the typical things that I'm going to find in the tourism guide or stuff that I just know because it's the classic spots to stop.
okay.
If there's a couple spots that you would recommend, maybe I check out while I'm spending time over there. Now I have kind of asked people for like venues and eateries, but I'm getting a lot of great recommendations. So just anywhere at all that you think we might
Hmm.
want to check out on
Are
site.
you a big foodie or are you not?
I like to diversify a little bit more than my stomach probably cares for me to do,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. If you like if you're going out to eat, it's your favorite cuisine. What's your favorite?
You know what? It's funny because I don't eat it as much, but I
Yeah.
if there's Tex-Mex or anything like that, I really gravitate towards it. I do like a good like fish and chips or something, but I'm not a big seafood guy despite being an East Coaster.
Okay. good fish and chips. I mean, Brits is always really good.
Yeah.
Brits fish and chips. I don't know if we're talking food wise. I mean, you got to go to Churchill Arms, in my opinion,
Okay.
one of the best restaurants in town. It's this little like British style pub, and it's really awesome.
Oh, that definitely sounds worth checking out.
Oh, for sure. If you like, I mean, they're really well known for their like curries and stuff, like the British style curries. So
Oh, okay.
if you like that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing. Like you know, butter chicken stuff like
Yeah.
that.
No, that does sound
Um,
amazing.
yeah, I would recommend that for sure. As far as venues go, I mean, there's always shows at Trailside. I mean, people have probably said that. I mean, Trailside. I mean, I can't say enough good about Trailside. It's one of the only places that we have here in Charlottetown that I feel like you can go, you sell tickets, it's a sit down listening room, and
Hmm.
we're going to play original music. You know, we don't have a lot of that here, which is really sad. So I definitely would catch a show at Trailside if you're here. I mean,
Yeah.
there's going to be Top Music PI week there
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, no, I definitely will have to book a couple extra days when I'm planning my follow-up trips.
you should.
So I have a few, especially now that I'm digging into this series because there has been quite a few episodes already recorded. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm
It's
getting
so
an
it's so
exponential list.
It's so hard to say because I mean, there's so much. Like, if you're coming here in the summer, I mean, there's just endless things to do. Like,
Yeah.
I can't think of a better spot to be than PEI in the summer.
And well, that might actually answer my follow-up question.
Okay.
I have been asking a few people too, and it's something that I generally try to ask people in the deeper dives into East Coast music.
Hmm.
What kept you here? Because you have been trying different things, as we referenced. We had some different lineup changes and band name changes and style changes. So something that's been consistent through that is that you stayed on the East Coast and maybe something specifically to Prince Edward Island, but I mean you've already expressed it's the best place in the world to be in the summer.
It really is.
I, I love
Man,
it.
man, I've tried to. It's so funny. I've tried to leave PEI. I mean, more times than I can count.
Hmm.
Something always brings you back. I don't know what it is about PEI and like being born and raised here, but it always brings you back. And I don't know, you know, especially today, it's like you don't need to move to have a music career. It's not like it's the, you know, 90s or something and you need to go to Toronto or something or more of
Yeah.
a hub where, you know, nowadays everything's online. You can connect with people anytime you want. You know, there's so many avenues you can take these days because of social media and things like that. But I think what's kept me here is the closeness. Like we really have I mean, I'm biased, but we really have a great music scene here,
Hmm.
an exceptional music scene with some of the most talent I've seen anywhere I've been. Um, you know, it's like we all play different music and or come from different backgrounds, but we're all so close as friends. Like I don't know another scene where everybody's so close and we're actually really friends outside of the music. We hang out, you know. It's a really cool thing. There's so much love here for each other. Like everybody in the music scene has so much love for each other here in the island, and I think that's what's kept me here.
Yeah, it has come across in the like the more that I've dug into all the different artists that have been nominated, I've realized more and more that you do all know each other
Yeah.
outside of being part of an org. Like you're not just part of a music industry association. You're part of a like physical community that actually interacts with each other, which is really it's really nice to see.
Yeah, like literally today, right before this interview, I was with Joss Rayom and Logan Richard and you know Ben McDonald, like a few Benny Vaughn, like a few other people. We were all just hanging out. Music. Logan was doing a music video, just chance for us to like hang and be involved, and like we're all so close. It's amazing. It's such a great thing.
It is really one of the reasons that I like doing these episodes as well, and I've referenced it a little bit in some other contexts, but the stories behind the creation of the entertainment that I enjoy is
Mm.
obviously fascinating, but I always had to kind of romantic view of how people actually interact behind the scenes. And sometimes pulling the curtain back a little bit, you're a little like, oh, well, they're not really friends, like
Yeah.
they're associates and stuff. But the smaller communities, and that's, I think, something that keeps me focused on the East Coast. I love Canadian content in general.
Hmm.
So I always like to cover Canadians that are achieving their own dreams. But I think that in the East Coast with the smaller communities, I think that kind of generates that. As soon as people get away from the competition piece and then work on the collaboration piece, it seems that everybody seems to benefit from it at the same time.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better. It's true. Like there's no there if there's any competition here, it's like a healthy competition. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you just released that, okay, like I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do this and but it's like we all support each other. We're like no matter what, we're all just there to support each other. But there is some like healthy competition, and I think that's important. We gotta push
Mhm.
each other to be better.
Yeah. 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 No, it's wonderful to see.
Yeah.
Now, for the music week itself,
Mm-hmm.
I will be posting for anyone that's been following along with East Coast DNA on social media. I'll be posting the events and stuff as we go along. But for anyone that's watching this that maybe has the chance to go over and take in some of the events, what could they expect from your camp?
I'm actually just going to be checking out shows. I actually
Cool.
don't have any performances myself for Music PEI Week this year. I'm just going to be taking in all my friends' performances, and I'm going to be going to the award show. And yeah, I'm just up for Entertainer of the Year, so I'm just excited to be involved.
Well, I'm gonna definitely put you on the spot then. I want to know,
Okay.
give me a performance or two that I definitely can't miss. I'm gonna try to catch all of it.
I don't
And
even
it,
know if that's just impossible. I don't know if I could just pick one. Like, I don't think you should miss any of them because
yeah.
the I think what Music PEI does really well, I will say, what I love that they do is with every performance, it's not like one genre the whole night.
Hmm.
It's like every artist is like a little different from each other. It could be like a country act and then a hip hop act and then a rock act. I really love that they do that and they add so much variety, I guess, to the shows. I think that's why you can't really miss any shows because they're going to be so entertaining and such a mix of styles.
That is one of the reasons I'm really excited to get over there. I've been to a few of the different music industry events over the last few years, but I always see the Prince Edward Island one listed, and I kind of envision that like I can get around to most places on foot and just
Sure. Oh
take
yeah,
everything
definitely.
in. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people, and I will be capturing some content, but it is catching everybody live because I've been reading about a lot of you and following a lot of you
Hmm.
online, but I haven't had a chance to catch a ton of you, uh, yourself
Yeah.
excluded. I
Yeah.
haven't seen a ton of you live. So I also want to ask then for people that don't get a chance to go over,
Yeah.
where should people be following you online just to keep up with new material that's coming out and some future tour dates?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always on Instagram. If you look up Brad Milligan Music, that's what I'm on everything. So Brad Milligan Music on Instagram, on Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, that's you. I'm always like, I'll if I'm doing anything, I'll post about it. Or I have a story about it, so you can keep up to date with everything on there.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And if we do run into each other in person, maybe we'll get a chance to chat for a few more minutes.
100%. I'd love to.
We'll uh, we'll let any of the viewers out there know that we had a chance to talk to. Maybe we'll grab a quick moment to get on a live stream or something too.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that.
I would like to say thank you again for taking time out of your schedule to do this interview with me. And anyone out there that's been following along so far, we do have quite a few episodes that are already scheduled out there. So you can go onto YouTube now at East Coast DNA, and you can actually set notifications so that you get reminders for those episodes. You will notice some gaps in the schedule. I have been inserting other artists in those gaps. So anyone that's looking now, make sure that you check back. There will probably be a few more artists added to the lineup before we actually get on site. So thanks again, Brad, and hopefully we get a chance to meet up when I'm over there in March.
For sure, man. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Bye, everyone.